Hello, fellow wine lovers, and welcome to Wine with Me. I'm your host, Emerick, and today we'll be looking at the 2017 Terredora Di Paolo. This is the Greco di Tufo, Loggia della Serra. Greco di Tufo is the DOCG within Campania, which is in the southern portion of Italy, right before Calabria. And the grape in this wine is Greco. To keep things fair and objective, I will be utilizing the Court of Masters Sommelier's tasting grid, which you can also use to follow along by clicking in the link in the description. If you wish to suggest the next wine for the next video, please feel free to leave your comment in the comment section. You can also follow me on Instagram or Twitter. All right, let's jump right into it. So this is a white wine with a pale straw, medium concentration, clear, day bright, medium plus steering. It does come down a little bit, but it takes a moment. But once it starts, it keeps on coming, right? It gets moving quite well, indicating somewhat of a elevated alcohol, sugar content, possibly a warmer climate, which we know is, right? There's no evidence of gas or sediment in this wine. Let's go to the nose. All right, the wine is clean, youthful. There is a moderate plus intensity. It doesn't jump out of the glass, but you don't have to make too much an effort to get the elements of the wine. The fruit component are coming out very ripe. I'm getting a lot of yellow apple, red apple, ripe pears, Meyer lemons, pineapple, yellow peaches, some melon honeydew characteristics. There is a floral component here, possibly jasmine, lilac, honeysuckle, orange blossom, apple blossom. There is an interesting orange zest to this wine as well. Earth-wise, there's a little bit, a very faint level of chalk and limestone characteristic, but nothing that really would define the wine. The nose is mainly dominated by the fruit and how ripe the fruit is. There's no sign of oak usage in this wine, but I would like to confirm that on the palate. The wine is dry. The fruit on the palate confirms the nose, as in yellow apple, pear, not so much of the red apple, yellow peaches, that honeydew melon, a little bit of that orange zest, that little bit of the orange bitterness that you get from the zest, Meyer lemons. The floral component is still there with the apple blossom, orange blossom, jasmine. On the palate, there's more of a herbal component as white tea. That earthy characteristic is a little more prominent in the palate, as you would expect with an old world wine. You get a little more of that slate, river rocks, like wet river rocks, some limestone. There's a mineral characteristic to this wine. Again, I do not get any flavor components that suggest the use of oak in this wine. I would say this wine is probably made either in a stainless steel or old barrels that will not impart any flavor to the wine. I would strongly believe this is a stainless steel made wine. Structure-wise, there is a ever so slight phenolic bitterness that really doesn't dominate or define the wine, but is present, adding a little bit of texture and depth to this wine. The acidity is quite present. I'm tempted to say high, just because the ripeness of the fruit might be masking a little bit of that acidity, but it is what is driving the finish. Even after taking the last sip, my salivary glands are still working, still washing the wine out, right? Which is perfect for food pairing. Alcohol content. I would classify this as a moderate plus alcohol, probably in that 13.5% range. Texture-wise, this is a lean wine with a light body. Very similar to what a Pinot Grigio would come out as, that light texture, lean, that will definitely cut through some food flavors. Complexity, based on the amount of terms that we use to describe this wine, I would say moderate plus complexity with a moderate plus finish. Again, that acidity is still driving the finish, the earth flavors, the fruit flavors. The finish is mainly dominated by the earth flavors. The fruit dissipate in the front. You get a lot of fruit in the nose, a little bit on the front, on the palate, and then the finish is dominated by the earth components. But with all that being said, the wine is imbalanced. There are no really elements that are dominating the flavor here or there. Pairing wise, I think this wine would go fantastic with oysters. Again, that acidity, the melon characteristics. If you get, East Coast oysters that has that cucumber melon characteristic like Blue Point oysters, you get a perfect pairing with this wine. Fish, of course, bronzino, sea bass, with a little bit of that fat content, this would go perfect. And of course, poultry as well. All right, so this is it for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers.